Hello everyone, I will be talking about exceptions in this video. In Java, exceptions are events that occur during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of instructions. They represent exceptional conditions that a programmer wants to be aware of and handle in a structured manner. I will be talking about some of the types of exceptions. The first type is checked exception. These are exceptions that are checked at compile time. If a method throws a checked exception, the caller must handle it using try-catch or declare it in the method signature using throws. It represents a recoverable condition and enforce handling by the developer. The second type is unchecked exceptions. These are not checked at compile time and typically indicate errors in programming logic. They extend from runtime exception. Often this represents a programming errors or unpredictable condition for runtime and are not enforced to be handled explicitly. Now let's talk about exception handling in Java. Okay, so the first part to this is try-catch blocks. It is used to handle exceptions that might occur within a block of code. And the second is throwing exceptions, which is used to explicitly throw a exception from a method or code block. The third is finally blocks, which is used to clean up tasks and are executed regardless of whether an exception occurs or not. Here is an example for handling exceptions. So now let's talk about an example using these type of exceptions. So this particular example tells us if there are sufficient funds in the banking account or if there isn't. First, let's start off with flow of control in try, catch, finally. Here we can see that there are try, catch, and finally blocks. The withdrawal method encapsulates the withdrawal operation inside the try block. This block attempts the withdrawal and checks if the withdrawal amount exceeds the available balance. If the condition is met, it throws an insufficient fund exception. And the catch block catches the insufficient funds exception thrown in the try block. It prints an error message indicating that there are insufficient funds in the account. And finally, irrespective of the finally block, irrespective of whether an exception is thrown or not, the finally block executes afterward. It contains the statement transaction finished, providing assurance that the transaction handling process is complete. Next, we move on to the try-catch block here. The try-catch block in withdrawal method encapsulates the potential error-prone operation of withdrawing funds from an account. It catches the specific insufficient fund exception that might occur during this operation, allowing the program to handle this exceptional situation gracefully. Now let's move on to throwing an exception. Throwing an exception in Java is the process of interrupting the normal flow of code execution when an abnormal condition arises. This is accomplished by using the throw keyword followed by an instance of an exception class. So here you can see that the insufficient fund exception is thrown explicitly using this line of code when the withdrawal amount exceeds the available balance. This creates an instance of custom exception class and interrupts the normal flow of program. Okay, now let's move on to a custom exception class. A custom exception class in Java is a user-defined class that extends either exception or one of its subclasses. It's used to represent specific exceptional condition within an application. So here you can see insufficient fund exception is a custom exception class that extends the exception class. It's designed specifically to represent and handle scenarios where there aren't enough funds in an account to complete a transaction. Finally, we can see that insufficient fund exception is a checked exception as a subclass of exception and not runtime exception. It's mandatory to either catch it or declare it in the method signature using throws. This ensures that the calling code knows about and handles the potential exception. So let's just run this code, and we can see that there is insufficient fund in the account and the transaction is finished. This code exemplifies a basic banking scenario demonstrating how to handle exceptions in such a context. It ensures a systematic handling of potential errors during a fund withdrawal process while utilizing a custom exception class to address specific exceptional classes within the banking system. Finally, exceptions provide a structured way to handle unexpected situations in Java programs, facilitating graceful recovery, error reporting, and maintaining the stability of the application. Thank you.